Theme from a summer place. From a summer place. The theme from a summer place. It's the theme from a summer place. From a summer place. The theme from a summer place is the theme. Yeah, whatever. Oh, do you remember that? The theme. That's what plays during that bit in Fallout 4. You know the mission, the quest where you got with the T. You know the bit in Fallout 4 with where you got to get the T in Fallout 4. You know that bit in Fallout 4 with the T where you've got to do that mission and get the T in Fallout 4. You know that mission in Fallout 4 with the T. That's a joke from The Simpsons. Not the Fallout 4 thing, because that would be weird. The theme from A Summer Place. Jasper sings it when he's auditioning to be in the B Sharps, I think. He sings the theme from a summer place. From a summer place. The theme from a summer place. It's the theme. See, the joke is because it doesn't have lyrics. But he sings the lyrics to it, even though he don't have lyrics. It's funny. It's much a humour. I like songs. I like it when people sing songs that don't have lyrics, but they sing lyrics to the songs. Did you know Tetris? The Tetris song has lyrics. It goes dun da da dun da da dun da dun da da dun da da dun dun. Tetris song. Dun da dun da da dun. Da dun da da dun da da dun dun. Tetris song. Do 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 do. Dun da da dun da da dun da da dun da da dun da dun dun. Tetris song. Dun da dun da da dun da dun da da dun da da dun dun. Tetris song. Dun da da dun. Ha ha ha! Did you know Tetris? My dad beat Tetris. Did you know you could beat Tetris? And there's a rocket ship that goes at the end of each level, and then each level the rocket ship is one block bigger, and then it goes and blasts off. Because my dad beat that. Because my dad liked puzzle games. Because he was a fucking he was a taxi driver, so he had a lot of time just sitting around waiting for fares to get in his fucking car. So he bought us all Game Boys so that we'd have something to like, because when he came to visit us and take us away and kidnap us, not really, he didn't do that. But you know, he'd visit and then take us out to like the movies and bowling and stuff. You know, he was a good dad at times. He was a good dad. He was, that's not the point. That's not what I'm talking about. And so he bought us Game Boys so that we could like play them during the drive and stuff, and just whenever. And then he bought a Sega. It was a Sega Master System at first, and then a Mega Drive to keep at his place so that we could play it while we were there. So, you know, we had something that we actually enjoyed doing while we were there, instead of just like sitting and watching Star Trek again. Really, Dad? Gonna make us watch Star Trek again? From a summer place. From a summer place. The theme from a summer place. And he got himself a Game Boy to play while he waited for fares in his taxi, and then he got Tetris, and he was really good at puzzles, and he completed Tetris. I didn't even know you could complete Tetris, but evidently you can, because my dad did it. Which is a little bit of a sort of thing where it's like, my dad works at Nintendo and he bought me all the Nintendos in the world. You know, to be like, yeah, well, my dad beat Tetris. He actually did, though, you know. He's a big fat man. And he wasn't there as much as I'd have liked him to be. He did good towards the end, though. He bought some of my paintings and he really did show like support. He bought some paintings from me just to be like, I guess, a good dad. He was like, oh, hey, paint me something to go on this wall in like browns and stuff so it fits with the decorations in the room. And I was like, oh, Dad, all right, I'll do that. Yeah, no problem. So I did. And then he paid me for it. But then as I was leaving, because I went to stay with him and his not his missus, the woman he was with, and then just as I was leaving, and this is very sort of like the way my dad would do it, he wouldn't make a big show of it, but then just as I was about to get on the train, he hands me an envelope and he's like, open this on the train or whatever. So I get on the train and it's almost like a mafia film. It was just full of money. This envelope, not like, you know, hundreds of pounds, but a pretty decent amount of money for, you know, a 22, 23-year-old Ewan. Yeah, he just handed me an envelope full of cash, and I was like, Dad, that's so nice, thank you, oh my god. So yeah, he was good. He had his moments of being like genuinely decent and such. I think I should have given him more time towards the end, but I mean, that's all we can do is think like that, isn't it? Like, oh, I wish I'd spent more time with him, I wish I'd spoken to him more, done this, done that. But we can't go in the past. All we can do is sing the theme from a summer place. From a summer place, the theme. From a summer place, it's the theme. That's just been in my head for weeks. For fucking weeks. I think it's become, or you know, as well as many other songs, it's been used as like a song to use on Instagram for like reels and stuff. Because I've seen it in a bunch of people's reels on Instagram and all that shit. And I think, you know, I was aware of the song already. I knew it from The Simpsons. But now it's just all week, 4 weeks, this past week and weeks prior, it's just been in my fucking head. Just the theme from a summer place. From a summer place, the theme from a summer place is the theme. Are you drawing Gun Viking, Ewan? You haven't drawn him in a little while. Are you working on some Gun Viking project you haven't told us about? Well, funnily enough, no, I'm not. I mean, I am drawing Gun Viking, but I'm not doing it to announce some kind of Gun Viking. Although, I had this written down. Gun Viking colouring calendar. Because I was thinking about colouring books, and I was like, a colouring book could be kind of a cool thing to put out. If it was good, because I see a lot of them that are just like sort of fucking shit. But if it was a good one, then that could be good. And then I was like, but then, you know, whatever. How do I make it different? A colouring calendar? Because I tried doing a calendar once already. I think I've got one here. But I released it early in the year. Like, I think it, because of printing and stuff, I didn't actually get it out, the calendar, until like February of the year of 2020, which was like, no one's buying calendars in February. People buy calendars like December, maybe November, December. People are buying calendars for the next year. People give them as Christmas presents and shit. No one's buying a calendar in February, and so I got a bunch of them printed and sold a very slim handful. And it cost a lot to get them printed, and I took quite the L on that one. I've recycled most of them since then. I think sometime last year or the year before, I tossed them 90% of the stock I had left in a bag and recycled it because fucking what am I going to do with them? But I kept a few just for the sake of it because it's a thing I made. It was a whole load of butts calendar. And look, every month there's butt drawings that I did. Wow, they're CMYK, so the pinks and purples come out really dull and dark, which is a bit annoying. But it was quite cool that it was there for a bit. You know, butts calendar, it's quite a cool thing. I think if I had released it a few months earlier, it probably would have been a bigger hit. A few people bought them, fucking whatever. But I don't like doing calendars. I don't know why I thought a gun Viking colouring calendar would be a good idea. It was just an idea in my head. And I could get them printed, like a square one, staple bound, hole punched through it. And then like a hand-drawn calendar bit, nice and easy, whatever. And then on each page, a different picture of Gun Viking in black and white that you colour in. And then it's your calendar, but it's got your colouring. So it's like a collab between me and the person who bought the calendar. And then they get to decide how it looks when it's hung up on their wall because they get to colour it in. So that was an idea. But that's this drawing I'm doing now is in no way related to that other than it's Gun Viking. That was not my intention. That just happens to be a thing I thought about. This is drawn just because I thought it'd be fun to draw some fun Viking. Gun Viking, more like fun Viking. I saw this picture. Zelda picking up item noise. Simon Bisley artwork from FAK, FAKK 2, I think, which I think was a video game based on heavy metal film, and then he made a comic of it with Simon Bisley doing the art, and this was one of the paintings of like a cover or something for it, or something. And I thought, I literally saw that painting on Instagram somewhere. Someone posted it just to be like, hey, this is a cool Simon Bisley piece. And I saw that and I was like, I should draw Gun Viking like that, but I should draw him wearing that exact bikini or like whatever it is. So that's what I'm doing. I'm drawing Gun Viking in a skimpy bikini, just like in the FAK piece by Simon Bisley. Did I say I'm drawing Gun Viking or did I say I'm drawing Simon Bisley? I feel like I said I'm drawing Simon Bisley. But I didn't mean to. I meant to say, well, you know what I meant to say. I meant to say theme from a summer place. From a summer place. The thing is, because I hear that used on Instagram, but when it's used on Instagram, I hear it as do 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 do. That's what I hear on Instagram as it's being used, but my brain automatically goes to add the lyrics, so it turns into theme from a summer place. It's hellish. Like anything, it's just one of those songs that gets stuck in your fucking melon and you can't get rid of the goddamn thing. Piece of shit. Fucking goddamn piece of shit. Oh, fucking... Look at that. You've never seen Gun Viking look so sexy. I mean, maybe you have. I think Gun Viking's quite a sexy character, personally. The issue here, of course, is he's got a package, hasn't he? So he's going to have to squeeze it in to his... I'm not going to remove his package just because he's wearing a skimpy skin. So his wanger will be like here, smushed up, and then his balls will be there. Looking like Borat in his mankini, isn't he? Oh, remember that? My wife! Oh, classic. Oh, funny times. Oh, Borat. My wife. Borat. And then this one's green, but I'll do it red anyway, just because I don't give a fuck. It's supposed to have gloves. I'll give him a red glove. It's got like a hole here, and then this whole hand is red gloved. Shoulder pad. I guess I'll give him a shoulder pad. It's got like a neck bit, but the neck bit's hidden away under his beard and such, so I won't worry about that too much. It's the theme from Summer Place. You can suck my penis. Put it in your face, my penis in summer place. It's my peen in a summer place. I don't know what summer place is. I don't know if it's like, maybe the song is just called a theme from a summer place, or I don't know if it's literally a theme from like a film or something called a summer place. I have no idea. I don't even care to look it up. You know how normally I'll be like, oh, let's Google it. That would be, if it was a kids' TV show, I'd be like, oh, let's go and Google it. And then there'd be a little tune that I play, and it'd be, let's go and Google, let's go and Google, let's go and Google the thing to do. And there'd be a little like cartoon character bouncing around going, ba-doing, 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 hey, we're gonna Google it. What are we Googling today? And I'd say, we're going to Google where the fuck the theme from the summer place comes from. Is it just a song? Is it actually from something? I don't know. Let's find out. Boop. And then we find out. And then we go, we found out a thing from Google. And the show would be funded by Google, because they'd be paying for us to be using their name. And so Google ads would keep popping up being like, did you know if you use Google, your office will be 18% more efficient by the which would be horrendous. You imagine that. Imagine being like bought by Google, and then suddenly you have to like be Google appropriate all the time. Ugh. Here's something completely irrelevant. Somebody said, because I was wearing my robe in a recent video. Oh, my fingernails are dirty. I'm sorry. Let me. I can deal with it. I'm usually better than this, but I had a few shots of whiskey and some Red Bull, so I'm a little bit out of my. I don't know what I'm doing. So, because I was wearing my robe in a recent video, and somebody said it looks like you have baby hands in that thing. I think they said like top or hoodie or something, but it was my robe that I was wearing. And normally, if people say some shit like that, if they say some shit about me, how I look, or my voice, or my art, or whatever, in relation to a video, I'm usually like, oh, fuck you. Shut up. You don't know. You don't want to know what you're talking about. Go fuck yourself, piece of shit. Comment on my fucking appearance and whatever. But if they are commenting on a specific aspect or part of like a video or a podcast or whatever, I will, more often than not, check out that episode or that video or whatever it is at the time code they specify, if they specify one, just to see what the fuck it is they're talking about. Because sometimes they'll be like, haha, Ewan singing about something at this time code is really funny, and I'll be like, what the fuck are they talking about? I have no recollection of that. And then I go and watch it, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I did sing about fucking something, and it was really funny. I am hilarious. I am bloody hilarious. Oh. God, good on you guys, thinking I'm hilarious and all that. Oh, you're bloody brilliant sometimes, I tell you what. So in this instance, someone said my hands look like baby hands wearing my robe, and I watched the video, and they're absolutely right. They're completely, I can't even be mad, because it's not like a bad thing. It's just the robe is just so wide, and it doesn't like form to my wrists or move with my arms or anything, so it just looks like I got little baby hands sticking out of my robe, which is quite funny. It's kind of funny. It's a little bit funny. It's not hilarious, but it's kind of funny. It is kind of funny. I thought it was kind of funny. My initial reaction was that it is funny. Somebody said, it looks like you have baby hands. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Cunt. Fucking baby. I'll rip your fucking tits off and shove them down your throat, you piece of shit. And I watched the video and I went, it looks like I've got baby hands. So that was fun. I figured, since, I'm doing a Bisley thing, if I'm stealing from Simon Bisley again for my artistic pursuits, as I am wont to do, I may as well look at some Simon Bisley artwork again. If you're not sick of it already, you will be now. Only joking. I'm looking at something else we've already looked at a bunch of times. I'm going to look at Simon Bisley's cover paintings for Doom Patrol Volume 2. Doom Patrol, the painting that ate Paris. Speaking of paintings, wow, look at all the Simon Bisley painting in this cover of Doom Patrol. How many? That's something I'm going to Google. Let's go and Google, let's go and Google, let's go and Google the thing. Do. How many covers did Simon Bisley paint for Doom Patrol? That's got to be a straight up just number, surely. Doom Patrol, the art of Simon Bisley. Ugh, no. Doom Patrol covers. Simon's run on Doom Patrol was... Simon Bisley, Doom Patrol 46 cover. Doom Patrol by Simon Bisley. Simon Bisley cover, best cover. Simon Bisley, Doom Patrol. No, none. No numbers. Just tell me how many. Goddamn. No response. What? Why? SimonBisleyArt.com, the official fan site of the artwork of Simon Bisley. Doom Patrol. No responses. Why are there no... Theme from a summer place, from a summer place, the theme from a summer place. I need to calm, I need to centre myself. Oh, I like his little face hidden in the shadow of his giant hat. I like the big flat colour costume of the guy in the back, contrasted with the 3D tubing on his suit and his big sort of robot hand there. Lots of odd shapes that don't... this guy's got a flat suit as well with spray paint for the shadow on the... Pretty cool. Odd shapes of like the trousers and the legs and such. I like that. You can do like a comic book cover. If you're Simon Bisley, you can get away with it. And it's just like... almost just random shapes and whatever, and just fit it together, paint the thing, and it's all good to go. Because the actual comic's like regular, fairly stereotypical sort of, a bit oddball because of the nature of the shit, but in terms of how it's drawn from a very typical comic book sensibility. And then to see the covers be like this, they're not wild, but they're pretty out there, I guess. This one's sort of alright. There's a few of them that I'm like, about, sort of meh, whatever. Like the fact that Simon Bisley painted it is cool, but this, for instance, isn't like up there in the, heroes gallery of Simon Bisley cover artwork, is it? It's just sort of, it's alright. There's a few elements that are kind of interesting, but whatevs. That one's kind of cool, I guess. Nah, a lot of these are boring. I could paint better shit than that. I like the horse skull. I feel like Simon Bisley somewhat recently started on a path of he was going to be like using social media and doing like how-to videos and stuff, but then stopped. Maybe he just wasn't into it. I feel like that's what happened. I don't know. I haven't been following him that closely. But he did like a video of how to draw a horse's head. and then it was like the horse skull. So that's obviously one of those things he's got like in his artistic backpack that he can just pull out whenever he needs it. He's obviously drawn enough horse skulls over the years and horse heads that he can just draw them at will. And this is quite a good example of that. Fucking horse skull. It's got like a barbed wire mane, no skin, but it's got muscles and shit. And then Superman and the Flash are there doing whatever the fuck it is they're doing. It's quite a good Superman. Quite a good Bisley Superman. Fairly standard, nothing over the top, nothing outrageous, but it's pretty cool. Yep. The Kingdom of No. The Kingdom of Go Fuck Yourself. Now that's a cool fucking cover. I like that one a lot. I like that he knows what he's doing. He's painting a Doom Patrol cover, so he's got this stripe going in here. So he's painted this part of the stripe. I do have to wonder if he maybe did paint the full stripe, but then they added the thing on top, but then left in the bottom bit. I'd be interested to know how the original artwork for this looks. But that's cool. It's a cool sort of like standard Bisley action pose. Like is it Joe Pineapples, the ABC Warrior cat? Not literally cat. I was just being hip and using the word cat to describe a cool person. Yeah, that sort of pose, like legs locked down and sort of angular body. It's a good one though. And then the monster's just fucking cool. Just a big gnarly demon monster. It looks like something straight out of Doom almost, doesn't it? I like the red eye with like the pew laser almost kind of roar, and these bits just stuff, just fucking whatever, just marks and lines and things. That's a cool one. Cool colours as well. Very sort of fleshy, toned down colours. Very different from like this. You've got very bright, garish, gaudy superhero colours, your primary red, yellow, blues and such. And then this, you've got very sort of muddy, earthen kind of colours, which is neat. That's kind of cool in a weird sort of way. A little love note to Karen, I guess. Karen, love you always, Simon. Why not? Some weird fucking guy with some weird fucking mechanicalisms on him. Particles of the guy, I don't know. This background's kind of neat. You can see he painted that, and obviously, not necessarily obviously, but it looks like he didn't like measure anything with rulers and stuff, because it's a little bit wonky, but it's well drawn enough. Almost looks like a face. I wonder if that's intentional. That probably took forever just to paint that. I mean, you can see he's used a wash and then a couple of layers of various colours of paint. But even so, just with a small brush, just to make sure it looks as it's supposed to with that kind of detail. The tune for A Summer Place is playing in my head as I'm talking, and it's really difficult to concentrate right now. It's just this fucking thing. It's just in my head while I'm talking about all of this, and I'm legitimately struggling to concentrate because this is what I'm hearing as I'm talking. Just fucking God fuck. We love a big gun. We love big fucking guns, don't we, eh? Oh, I love a big gun. It's like a penis, innit? Guns are like penises because they're all longer than they are wide. They're phallic objects. It's like they're replacements for our penises. We grab hold of them and we shoot out of them and go, oh yeah, fucking love shooting guns because they're like my penis. It's like an extension of my cock. Ugh. My cock stinks like shit. But then, ewan, if you will go fucking animals that you find on the side of the road, dead animals that you find on the side of the road, your penis will end up smelling a little bit as a result of that. I don't know where that came from. Nukenstein. Big guns are fun. I like that he's bolted to the floor. I like his shadow and the ground. Perspective doesn't make a lick of sense with regards to how he's drawn it, but it's all good. Big fat shells coming out of it. Boom! Like the lettering. That's a fun one. That's one of those ones that, yeah, if you see that as a comic book cover on the shelf, you're going to be like, let me pick up that son of a bitch, because that son of a bitch looks cool. I mean, I would anyway. And then you'd look through the comic and be like, if you're not already into Doom Patrol, which I know there was a TV show of it or something. I didn't see even a second of it. I think it exists. That's a cool one. A nice little character piece. A few characters. I like the elephant, the stuffed elephant, the little doll there. Dead shit. The big, the Lobo / Joe Pineapples / just Simon Bisley denim jacket with, no sleeves. Perfect for what it is. The big gun. Is that this guy? Is that the guy with the gun? It looks like him, doesn't it? Yeah. That guy. I don't know who the fuck he is, and I'm not going to research it because I don't care. A giant gorilla. Oh, this is obviously some kind of inspiration behind my, at least visually, inspiration behind my my Gorilla Taxi Driver, my classic comic strip, Gorilla Taxi Driver. That'll go down in the annals of history, the annals of history. Let me Google the word is it ANNAL rather than ANNAL? A record of the events of 1 year. Oh, okay. A record of one item in a chronicle. Oh, an annal, recording Northelm's assistance to what the fuck are you talking about? Fucking boring, stupid words. The annals of history. Gorilla Taxi Driver is a classic. Look it up on my YouTube channel. It's brilliant. It's amazing. It's a classic. One of my all-time great works of art. I love this. I love like the largely black shape for the body, but then he like highlights a little bit of the fur just around the edges, and then a detailed painted face and hands and such. Oh, he's about to step on a banana peel. Careful, you're pushing a baby pram. You're gonna slip on a banana. Oh, fucking hell! What are you gonna do? So that was cool. But while I'm looking at Simon Bisley covers, I remembered I got these. I bought these a little while ago. I did look through them on the podcast already. But I got them purely because they've got Simon Bisley covers. I don't really care about the Terminator comics. I don't care about the Terminator enough to want to look through Terminator comics. If they were drawn by, one of a handful of like my favourite artists, sure, I'd be into it, but even then I wouldn't care about the fact that it's Terminator. I'd care about the fact that it's artwork by one of my favourite artists. So the covers are that. Double lighting, perfection here. Blue, and it's double lighting but almost not double lighting, because like it's kind of double lighting but his skin's torn away a bit, because then the blue for the metal. Yeah, maybe it's partly lighting, but maybe it's partly like blue for the like I stole from him and others, is to paint the metal in blue kind of colours. But yeah, the double lighting on the face, the shadow, the use of shadow, which is a really smart move. I mean, it's effective visually. Like, it looks fucking badass with the red eye and everything. It just looks really fucking cool. But also, if you're painting a cover and you get paid several hundreds, if not 1,000 or more pounds to paint a cover, and you can get away with painting this, basically, get the floor in, whatever, a few little gestures like insinuating the legs here, focus on just this bit here, and that's pretty much it. Not to say he did that on purpose, but he painted an effective piece. But it's kind of cool that chuck everything in shadow and you're like 2/3 of the painting's just done already. So that's kind of neat. But there is a good amount of detail in the painting. The robotics and stuff look very, very cool. Not too cookie cutter. Like, it's not like an obvious, like, this is a robot arm, I have drawn a robot arm. There's lots of weird pipes and shapes and things and like bits wrapping around and pipes going through and stuff. So he has put like effort and attention to detail in that. And I like the skin where it's like different tones. It's not all just the same flesh colour. There's like greens and yellows and stuff in the skin. And then it sort of fades into this green hand, which is kind of cool. I like that a lot. That's a good cover. Ooh, my head shook weirdly as I did that. A bit of whiskey probably. Yeah, I should stop. This is kind of neat. It's got like the green flesh under his skin. I guess that's like synthetic flesh underneath his skin is green. I like the textured background where he's obviously like slopped a load of paint on there to get the texture and then just washed some like dark brown or dark red over it to like bleed into the cracks and stuff, and it's giving it this texture with some spray paint and whatever, some smoke coming out the gun. The pose is kind of neat, a little bit not incredibly as fantastic and explosive and dynamic as you might expect from a Simon Bisley cover, but it's still pretty fucking good. It's a decent like painting that I can look at and go. What I do like is how all of this is almost just, it looks like just random blobs and lines of paint, but you do kind of believe it as like flesh. Because if you look at like muscularly people, sometimes they are very trim and neat and tidy and symmetrical and their muscles are all defined. But sometimes, especially if they're moving their muscles, they do sort of look just like a mass of like lumps and bumps and lines and weird stuff going on. So I will often use that in paintings of like, when it gets to these areas, just paint in a bunch of sort of squiggles and bumps and shit, and it will look like muscles enough that it's sort of believable. So that's neat too. The guns are a little bit basic, but fucking whatever. I'm not mad at it, but it's just, it's kind of funny when you see guns that are like, they almost look like a child has drawn them, where it's just gone like rectangle and another rectangle and it's a gun. This is brilliant. I think that's possibly, yeah, I'd say that's probably the best of the four covers. Just for like impact, how iconic it looks, and this with the redness does evoke memories of the original Terminator poster, where he's got the gun sort of pointed upwards next to his head, and I think it's got like a laser pointer on it or something, laser sight or whatever, and it's in those similar kind of like skin black, blue, red tones. Like that, if I saw that painting, I'd be like, oh, I could kind of see how it's Terminator because of like the skeletal head, but that could be any sort of like bio-soldier, biomechanical robo-soldier. I guess bio-soldier is just soldier, isn't it? Biomechanical robot soldier man. Like it looks kind of generic. That's pretty Terminator-y, but this, like if I didn't know that was a Terminator comic, I'd think Terminator when I looked at this. So that's cool. It's very, very iconic. The tones in the flesh are so good. There's blues and purples and reds and yellows and greys. A little bit of like greenish in there. It looks like he's using very thin layers to build them up. But like blotches of these different kind of tones and colours and stuff. It's really, really impressive, because that's one thing that always like pulls me down about my own work, is when I paint skin and stuff, I just use like a skin tone, maybe throw a bit of red in there if it's like fingertips and stuff. But then I see stuff like this and I'm like, fuck, that's how you paint like skin and flesh, because it really feels like there's, even though there isn't blood flowing underneath it, it feels like it's really fleshy flesh rather than just, synthetic skin or something. So that's really impressive. I love the look of the jacket. Fairly straightforward, but just like a bunch of lines for the creases and reflectivity of the leather jacket. Again, with the Lobo Joe Pineapples that fucking guy in Doom Patrol and Simon Bisley in general. Short leather jacket, open, bare chest, tight pants, gun pointed forward with the laser sight with the red spray paint, and then you paint over these bits so you carve out the rest of the spray paint. That's a good one. That's a really, really good one. And this is also a good one. I love this just because it's another sort of like somewhat classic Bisley action pose that he's used quite a few times in his comics, and I really, really like it. It's quite an obscure sort of like angle and pose to do, but I'm trying to make my hands go in that sort of way. But I really, really like it. It works. It's not even necessarily the sort of thing you'd think to put on a cover, but it's good. It works, and I like how the flesh and the USA top is sort of whatever. But then it's like, I don't know, melted off or whatever. So he's got his robot legs and ass there, which is quite cool. Still, it feels very Bisley, very ABC robot kind of. I like the shells and everything, and I love how you can see where he's left like the underpainting for the muzzle flashes, and then painted around them with this grey paint. And he's done the same for the shells, and you can still see the lines where he's drawn these quick lines where the shells would be. And he's left, and it looks like here there would have been another shell here, but he painted over it. So it's like rough, almost half finished, but not quite. The guns look cool. I like the magazine coming at the top of the gun. The muzzle looks pretty neat there, and this gun facing away, so he's got the hand looking like that. And then, you know, again, the flesh tones are really good. The musculature is really, really cool. Simon Bisley has body built at some point. You know, he spent time building his body, so he knew exactly how the muscles looked by looking in the mirror and shit. So that's something I don't have. I have to look in books and shit to find out how muscles are supposed to look, because I sure as hell don't have any on me. Theme from a summer place, from a summer place, the theme from a summer place. If I have to be sick of this shit, and so do you, if something's going to be stuck in my head until I want to fucking pull my brain out and stand on it, I'm going to make sure you're fucking sick of it as well. It's the theme from your mother's cunt, from your mother's fat cunt. I will paint this, I think. I think it would make a really funny, decent, like painted image. Gun Viking in a bikini. I think in my head, Gun Viking is canonically gay anyway. I like to consider him a gay icon. You know, he wears a skin tight purple fucking unitard, and there's plenty of shots of his bum. You know, his tight bum in that like tight fucking latex or whatever the fuck it is he's wearing. Which isn't to say he must be gay if he's wearing an outfit like that, but I like to think of Gun Viking as a gay man who doesn't necessarily, you know, his gayness doesn't factor into who he is as a comic book character. Maybe it should. Maybe I should make him more actively gay. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. You imagine I do that and then like it turns out loads of homophobic people like Gun Viking and they suddenly stop being interested in my art. Because Gun Viking's too gay now, Ewan. He's too fucking gay. Wouldn't that be a bummer? Oh, wouldn't that be a bummer? Well, quite the opposite, in fact. See, because bummer is a derogatory term for a gay person. Woohoo! That's not nice. It's not nice at all. It's the theme. I had an idea for a comic. I know. It's like I'm like a machine that generates comic book ideas. They just come to me and then I make them. gun Viking. Or wouldn't it be funny if there was a Viking with a gun? Should I make a comic of it? Yeah, all right. Here it is. Here's a whole entire book's worth. Or would it be funny if there was a guy who was like had one big fist and he was like Grim Reaper and they called him like, I don't know, Death Fist or something? Wouldn't that be funny? Should I make a comic of it? All right. And then I bloody did it. But this idea is just another Death Fist idea. It's not a new, fully original idea. But I did think it would be cool to do some Death Fist artwork that's like a comic that's all painted. Because I enjoy drawing the inking style of Death Fist. It is fun to just sit and draw in ink as opposed to like worry about painting and rendering and the amount of time it takes and whatever. But overall, I think I do prefer to have a finished book, a finished comic that is painted. I prefer the final look of a painted comic. I am very happy with the final outcome of Death Fist. I don't want to downplay how happy I am with that, because I genuinely am. I'm happy with and proud of myself even for finishing Death Fist. And for it looking as it does. But I just feel like there's a little bit more potential there for like cool artwork that I don't want to completely ignore. So I did think, do I have it? Yeah. Death Fist in Hell painted comic. Now, this wouldn't be the what happens when Death Fist teleports comic. That would be a separate thing that would be done probably in just black and white ink, or black ink on white paper rather. But this would be a separate comic of like, I don't even know how. I'd have to devise some whole new story elements for like, what could a story be for Death Fist in Hell? Like what would he do? Because the whole point of Death Fist is that he hangs out in the living world sending people to hell. He doesn't really spend his time in hell. So if he was in hell, what would he be doing there? So I would need to like legitimately spend some time thinking about it and like almost even, dare I say, writing the story, which is a terrifying concept. But I just think it would be really cool to experiment with like, and maybe make it like a one issue, like 25 page comic of him just in hell and there's demons and shit in the background. And I'd probably steal a lot from Mike Mignola, especially Hellboy in Hell, that era of like Mike Mignola's work. I'd try not to make it too obvious, but I'd certainly take inspiration. I'd steal a lot. But I'd need to think like, why is he in hell? Maybe he's literally just walking through hell, trying to like, I don't know, document his work, like get receipts for all the people he's sent there or something, or like Death Fist taking a walk through hell, looking at things and giving me an excuse to paint a bunch of hell imagery. And I wouldn't necessarily make it really like hellish, typical hell imagery. It would be just painting cool shit, cool demons and monsters and things, and calling it hell. Would pretty much be what it is. But I don't know, it could be cool, couldn't it? Just something fun to do. I also genuinely do want to try and get Zach Ridley done. I'd really like to get book 2 of Zach Ridley done. They did an audio play of it, which I wasn't informed of before, or maybe they might have emailed me about it and I just didn't check my emails ever, so if I didn't see it then that's totally understandable. I don't recall having seen an email or anything, which they don't have to do, because I don't know if, I think I have some right to, I feel like I've got a right to know if they're going to make an audio thing about it. But that was a thing. Um, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, that was kind of neat that they did that. But regardless of that, I think I'd just like to at least make a few steps towards getting book 2 finished. I mean, I don't expect to be able to do it anytime soon, but you know, that single issue, the first chapter of book 2, I was somehow able to get done on the DL, pretty much in secret, while working on many other things at the same time. So if there's a possibility I could do that with any more of Zach Ridley, then wouldn't that be fucking cool? It would be good to draw the characters again. I think I'm got a more idea of, like, I think I mentioned when I was looking at it more recently how I believe at the very start of the next chapter there's a big, like, fight scene in a bar. They're in the Rum Chuggers Good Time Emporium that they get to at the end of the first chapter, the first issue that I've already done. And then very early on in the next issue, I think there's some big fight with the Space Ninjas. It's like a big double-page spread, I think, of Space Ninjas and bar patrons and Zach Ridley and his friends all, like, jumping around and having a big fight, or, like, there's a big load of chaos going on. And I think, part of the reason I haven't done it already is because I've just been busy trying to pay my bills every month, which is perfectly understandable. But also that like single spread has me so daunted. I feel so, like, not ready to even try and draw that, because it feels like so much. Like, that's such a lot to try to draw all of that, and I don't necessarily feel adequate, but I feel a bit more adequate as of late. I feel like I could at least give it a good go, so I might have to hit Ian up and be like, yo, send me the scripts again. He did send me them at one point. I don't think I currently have them on my current laptop. I've been through a few laptops since then, and I don't know if it managed to get copied over. But that would be neat, wouldn't it? I'd love to do that just because, for many reasons, but one of them would be because the amount I've sort of shitted on my artwork from the first Zach Ridley book. It would be cool to have a full book of Zach Ridley with artwork that I can look at and be proud of. Which I'm sure I would be, because, like, I looked at the recent issue I did, and I'm still to this day really proud of that artwork from a couple of years ago. So no doubt if I got a full book done, I'd be really, really proud of the artwork nowadays. So that would be nice to do. Like I say, my mental health isn't great of late, especially of late with my sister's passing has hit me a lot harder than, like, I expected it to. I mean, not that I expected to not be bothered by it, but I think it has affected me a lot more than I thought it might. Which is, the robe I was wearing that gives me baby hands. I've basically not taken that off. I'm not wearing it now because it's quite a warm day, but I've pretty much just worn that and my sweatpants for, like, the last couple of weeks straight. I've barely gone anywhere. I've not seen anyone. I've not done much of anything. I've just been at home in my robe, just, like, fucking stewing in my own filth, trying to get commissions and things done, trying to get all the Death Fist comics wrapped up and sent out, which is happening very, very gradually. If you are waiting, thank you, and I apologise for any delays. It will get there. I am shipping them out in batches. So yeah, my I don't feel that positive that I could sit down and get a Zach Ridley book done in amongst everything else, but if I could, it would be pretty fucking cool. It would be cool. And from what I remember of the scripts, because I looked over, I think the next Ian had at least the next 2 issues written, the next 2 chapters, issues, whatever. He had the next couple of bits written, ready to go, and I read through them, and from what I remember, there were some pretty good like scenes coming up. I swear I got rid of a bunch of stuff recently, and I think a printout of one of those scripts might have been amongst the shit I threw out. If I had it printed out, I don't know if I did, but I'm not going to be able to find shit in here, am I? So yeah, maybe while I wait for this video to process, I'll email Ian and get him to send over the scripts if he still has them, so I can give him a look. And who knows? Who bloody knows? I was about to finish the episode there, but I think I've still got time to just fucking hang out and chat and shit. Not that I've got anything to talk about necessarily, but there's skulls and shit, skulls and spikes and things, and they'd be fun to draw and paint as well. I might just paint over the top of this in the sketchbook. That'd be quite cool, wouldn't it? Because I think the pink, I added in the pink just for some kind of like flesh tone sort of thing, but I think if I painted an actual flesh tone with the red bikini, it would look really, really cool. I might have to give him a red mask to match the bikini, rather than his usual purple mask. Would that work? I don't know. Maybe if I do paint it, I'll paint it in purple just to see how it looks. And if it looks shite, then I'll do it in red. I'll paint over it in red. But yeah, if I paint it, we'll see. And that's the whole part of the thing of painting and shit, innit? You've got to experiment, just see what works, see what doesn't work. And then fuck. And that's it. You fuck until you die, and then fuck dirty dead animals that you find on the side of the road until you die, and then that's the end of it. In other news, this is completely unrelated, but I feel like talking about it just because it's kind of neat. Legitimately, one of my earliest memories of my living life is this painting that my sister did, that was in the house when I was maybe around 2 years old. And it was a painting of me at that age. Sort of from the side profile, it would have looked something like, I don't know, I had little baby hands like I was wearing my robe, and then my stupid, like, dumb, chubby baby face, my little button nose, and my big, delicious blue baby eyes, and my golden curls. People used to mistake me for a girl, apparently, from my big... or my curly blonde hair. So the painting was something like this, with me sat in a high chair at a table, like a high chair that you stick a baby in at a table to eat their dinner or whatever. It was something like this, and I have such distinct memories of that painting existing and me looking at it. And I believe from my memory, my sister, who would have been maybe 17 or 18 at the time, I think she used the ass end of the paintbrush to like scratch into the hair with like curly lines to give it like texture in the curly hair, which is kind of cool. But even back then, I sort of was aware of that texture, and then later in life, I realised what that texture would have been, would be her scratching into the painting. And so I guess she would have been at like late school or early college years, and maybe even painted that picture as like a final piece for one of her projects or something. And yeah, that's I had never mentioned that painting ever in my life outside of the fact that well, I mean, the fact that it's a memory is that, and I've never mentioned that painting to anyone ever, until the other day. I was on the phone with my mum talking about how She was going through my sister's things, her belongings and stuff, to see what to take home, what to put in storage, what to get rid of or whatever. And my mum said she was finding all these paintings that my sister Zoe had done. She was almost surprised. She was like, oh, I knew she like painted and stuff, because my sister was always very creative. She used to make jewellery and stuff later in life and sell it, which is quite cool. But she never like made a career out of it, but she was very, very creative. Which is one of the reasons I think her and I had a sort of connection that I don't have with the rest of my family. I think also my sister like got me, because my sister was weird. She came out as gay very, very late in life, like in the last few years of her life, I guess now. Separated from her husband. And so, yeah, she was a goth for many, many, many years. She was like a proper goth, going to goth raves and stuff. She was weird. She liked art. She was creative. All of her boyfriends over the years had like long hair, like long black curly hair and beards and stuff. And I think she got me, and she sort of, I think at one point she even said that I'm the smartest of like her brothers. She was clearly aware that my other brothers are just fucking dumb pieces of shit, but Ewan's on it, because I'm not the one who got married multiple times because I failed at marriage and had kids. But so just she and I were definitely on a similar level, which I do regret not sort of indulging in more over the years. But she moved away because she didn't get on with my dad, because she had a different dad to me. So my mum and her dad separated before I was born, and then she had kids with my dad, who lived with my sister because she was young, and apparently she didn't get on with my dad. So she left home as soon as she could, at like 18, I guess. So I would have been about 2 or 3 at the time, so I don't really have any real memory of living with my sister. Because even when I was living with her, she'd have been 18. She'd have been off doing her own thing with friends, or in and out of the house and stuff. So I don't have much of a memory of that. So the only real memory I have is of that painting. So I'm talking to my mum. My mum says she found all these paintings, and she was very surprised that like she knew my sister was creative, but didn't realise she had all these paintings, like paintings of the street she lived on, painting of this, painting of that. And then I said to my mum during this phone call, like, oh yeah, well, one of my earliest memories is of Zoe's painting that she did of me. And my mum reckons that painting still exists. She thinks my sister has that at her home somewhere in the loft or somewhere. She thinks there's a really good chance that painting is still around, which baffles me, because I'm so fucking stupid and anal about my artwork. If anything isn't up to my current standards, I toss it out and I throw it away. So all of like my childhood artwork is just gone. It would be amazing to have some of my like old childhood artwork, like just to look at and like, here's a piece from when I was 6 years old and now I've recreated it. Wow, that would be kind of cool to do, like legitimately. Partly for like, Instagram content, but also it would legitimately be a cool thing to do. But because I'm a shithead and I'm neurotic and I fucking hate myself and I hate my artwork, I get rid of all of that shit as soon as I don't like it. So I don't have any of that. But evidently my sister, for over 30 years, may well have kept hold of this painting she did when she was a teenager. And my mum said, if it's still around, obviously I'm welcome to have it. And I said, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's one of my earliest human memories, not just of my sister, but memories at all in general of existing, is of this painting specifically. We had a very small dining room at the time in Weymouth. I remember the house so well. It was like the living room and then a door into this little dining room where we had a table and we ate at that, and another door on the side right there to the kitchen. And it was on the opposite wall to the sitting room door, behind the table. Maybe it was propped up on a chair or something. I remember that painting so vividly. And I think it was in like brownish red colours, and maybe I was wearing blue, and I had my, my luscious golden locks of hair and stuff. And that painting might exist still, and I might be able to have it. And at the time, I remember it being a huge painting, so it's probably about A3. It might not be that gigantic. Yeah, I'd be so intrigued. So I'm waiting to hear back from my mum. I should hear in the next couple of days if she's been able to get that painting. So that would be pretty wild. And I mean, I if I do get it, I'll show it off anyway, just because it's a cool thing. I'll be happy to have it, and I'll be happy to share a picture of it, just to be like, this is a painting my sister did when she was fucking 17 or something, and it's one of my earliest memories is this painting. But also, because, you know, she's an artist, I'm an artist, it's a piece of artwork, I would legitimately love to paint a copy of it, to be like, she painted this picture of me, and here's how I'd paint the same picture of me based on this painting of me. And that would be a really, really cool, you know, Instagram content and whatever, sure, but that aside, as an artistic act, as something to do, to create, to have this sort of, to build a connection into this painting that my sister had done. And it's a painting of me, so I obviously have a connection. But yeah, so I'm really genuinely like, you know, my hopes aren't up too high, because there's always a chance that the painting isn't around, but I am genuinely hoping that it is, that it has been kept somewhere and it is still a thing, because I think that'd be a really, really fucking cool thing to have. So that might be cool. I guess I'll update you as and when I get updates on that. And until then, it's the theme from a summer play.